Hi, this is Truthchaser here, and I'm excited to bring you a video I did back in 2007 on Ustream, and now I want to bring it to YouTube, and it got a lot of good response there. And it's on the occult origins of Saturn and its meaning in the high occult, and where that fits in society today. So leave me comments, let me know what you think. If you want to know more about the esoteric meanings of words and letters and numbers, then you can check out my blog at wordquestblog.wordpress.com, and the link will be in the down bar.
As I grow older, I find myself wondering what wisdom is. William Cowper states, "Knowledge and wisdom, far from being one, have ofttimes no connection. Knowledge dwells in heads replete with thoughts of other men, wisdom in minds attentive to their own. Knowledge a rude, unprofitable mass, the mere material with which wisdom builds, till smoothed and squared and fitted to its place, but does encumber whom it seems to enrich. Knowledge is proud that he has learned so much, and wisdom is humble that he knows no more." In other words, knowledge is just a bunch of trivia, an unprofitable mass, and wisdom is taking that mass and refining it. Wisdom is the humbling of mind to come to your own conclusions. Being human and mammals, we learn from our parents. If our parents don't have the knowledge to warn us, we will never know what danger we are in. If we were never taught that snakes are poisonous, our curiosity and ignorance will get us bitten. Henry David Thoreau said, "A man is wise with the wisdom of his time only, and ignorant with its ignorance." The public get their knowledge from the school and state, and then it's reinforced through the media, the middle, the mediators between the state and public. It's not their job to remind you of the past, but most people think that they will tell you everything you need to know. It's usually an older, distinguished man reading a teleprompter on the nightly news. They are reading you the script, giving you a version of reality, and would Daddy lie to you? Just what is your television programming? Is it programming you? What do we channel into our minds? The Pentagon just released a bunch of documents that involved an entire program to manipulate the public through the media, which doesn't come as much of a shock. SourceWatch.com states, "The Pentagon Military Analyst Program was launched in early 2002 by then Assistant Secretary of Defense for Public Affairs Victoria Clark. The idea was to recruit key influentials to help sell a wary public on a possible Iraq invasion. Former NBC military analyst Kenneth Allern called the effort PSYOPs on steroids. 8,000 pages of the documents relative to the Pentagon's military analyst program were made available by the Pentagon in PDF format online May 6, 2008. These are CIA agents working for the government giving us the news, giving us the new buzzwords to parrot that get into our subconscious. Believe me, they know how strong the subconscious is. Carl Jung, a noted psychologist, described how powerful the subconscious is in a simple example and everyday occurrence. Have you ever been sitting down and realize you need, let's say, a pen from the desk? You get up and move to find the pen, but halfway there you forget what you're going after. The whole thought hasn't left you, but you continue to your desk and begin to search your memory for what the object of your desire might have been. It has slipped into your subconscious, but is still driving you in a search for whatever it was. Then maybe minutes or hours later, it pops back into your conscience, and you kick yourself for forgetting something so simple. The point is this: simple thought drove your actions without you even knowing what it was. The elite of Egypt understood this, and that's why they wore the aureus around their head, or a snake. It symbolized protecting their third eye, the mind, the intellect, this wonderful tool that has been given us, but it can be manipulated so easily. They wore the cobra because it would remind them to strike quickly against anyone who sought to poison their minds. Our life here on this planet is very short. and it's sad that sometimes it's only upon the realization of death that makes people urgently seek a higher understanding and value of life. The family used to have the responsibility of taking care of the elderly, and the children would be exposed to death at an early age, which would hasten maturity. They would watch what it was like to come to the end of life. They would have to bury their loved ones and start reflecting on life. Now they are taken away to the hospital or nursing homes where other people take care of the dirty work. Even our meat at the market is cleanly packaged and sanitized. The respect for life has been destroyed. Our main start in education in this life is dispensed at state schools, and our IQ has been dropping since the 50s in an alarming pace. IQ doesn't drop. You were born with an IQ. If it is dropping, then it's been deliberately made to happen. You can control thought through language by minimalizing terms. I found the quote from Mark Chanzigi, professor in cognitive science, interesting. Now, over centuries, these revered reference books have achieved near optimal organization, Changizi said. That optimality can likely be attributed to the fact that cultural selection pressures over time have shaped the organization of our lexicon so as to require as little mental space and energy as possible. They found in the study that most people only use the first 2 tiers out of 7 hierarchical levels of words. Now, my father didn't learn how to read till he was in high school, and he would always tell me how hard it was for him to convey certain ideas and thoughts because he didn't have the words for it. In the Greek mythos, they relied heavily on allegories and metaphors to convey and conceal basic truths. It didn't matter to them if the story was an actual factual experience or a fictional experience as long as it conveyed a basic idea of truth. The gods had human characteristics of strengths and weaknesses, and the gods were a reflection of ourselves projected to the heavens and reflected back at us. As above, so below, or as on earth, as in heaven. So you end up with a fantastical tale of truth equivocated and hidden to the dead and unthinking, but was understood completely by the elite philosophers. It was a religion of science, a prediction of future, but based on high sciences and formulas of the mystery religions and personified in the zodiac. So I find it extremely funny that they were arguing about religion in schools when they had taught us to only see the exoteric metaphors of these Greek and Roman religions that we call myths. The planet Saturn in the ancient world was god of time, and with time all thoughts and concepts are born and die. Saturn, known to the Greeks as Kronos, where we get the word chronology. He is restricted by his rings, much like we are restricted by our mortality. He is the wise eternal Father that motivates us to seek to fulfill our lives before we are cut down by his sickle. He is the image of the Grim Reaper, the skull and bones. Black is the color of Saturn and of death. Kronos was wise with age. He bore many children, but feared that his children would grow up and destroy him. So he ate them up as quickly as he could. But there was one son who got away, Zeus, who was protected by Rhea, his mother. Rhea had taken a rock and wrapped it in swaddling clothes to trick Kronos. Kronos ate the rock, thinking it was the child Zeus. Then Rhea hid Zeus away and raised him. Zeus, when he grew up, returned and castrated his father. In this ancient tale, we see that Zeus represents the religion and plan of the New World Order. Zeus was also known as the hidden god, hidden from the people. It was his father Kronos, with his scythe or sickle, who cut the ties to the old age and brought in the new age. Kronos also represents the chaos or revolution in society during the Great Changes. To ensure there was no other plans, Zeus castrated Kronos. Zeus was able to conquer time, and it was Zeus's mother, the Mother Church, who hid these secrets and tricked the public. The word church comes from the Old English and German word kirk. When it was feminized, the hard K's became soft C's, so now the word is Circe, also known as Mother Circe. Circe was a sorceress who would lure